Katie here from the Scrappy Sisters, and I am up today with a YouTube hop for Stretch the Sketch. It's been many months since I've participated in one of these hops, but I'm super excited to participate in this one. It's been a year of this hop, and I think I did 2 or 3 of them maybe early on, and then I fell pregnant and everything just got too hard. But now I'm back, and for this hop we are all doing one sketch over the last 12 that we've done over the last 12 months. So there's 12 of us. Everyone will be linked down below, so make sure you hop through and go and check everybody else out. I am using the sketch that you will see hopefully on the screen now, but I don't really know how to do that in iMovie while I'm still talking. So you'll probably have seen it at the start. You will have seen the sketch, and it's a hexagon based sketch. And the way that I'm going to stretch the sketch is actually to do a double page layout. So I've got 2 pieces of white cardstock here. I have all of these photos from my son's newborn photo shoot. So there's quite a few. He looks a little unwell. And for those of you that know the story, he was unwell. He isn't now, but he was. We had to have some surgery, and he was very small when he was born, so he was only about 2.5 kilos or so here, which is only 5 point something pound. He was very small. So I've got these were the welcome things that I sent with thank you cards, and these are some other photos that I've got printed out. So I have this hexagon cut file from Virginia Walker's Confessions of a Paper Addict shop that I want to use. I've got my hexagon punch here, and what I thought I would do for a bit of fun, these are all the cards that we received when Link was born. So there are lots. This one's funny. A guide to baby poop. Anyway, we received lots of cards when Link was born. Lots. And I thought that I would use these on a layout because I'm not going to keep, well, if I keep these, is anyone going to look at them again? I don't think so. I've got a list of everyone who gave us things and what they gave us. And so I want to sort of remember the cards, and I thought making a layout with them might be the way to go. So I'm going to back some of them, you know, on this hexagon cut file. I'm going to use my punch to punch out the hexagon shape from some of the cards, and yeah, then I'm going to go from there. So I will probably do that off camera because that will take me quite some time, and then I will come back and go into voiceover mode and then put the layout together once I've cut out the hexagons. So we will see you instantaneously, but in a little while for me. Probably, if I'm honest with you, my baby's about to wake up, so it will probably be tomorrow when I get to finish this layout, but I will do as much that I can today. That will be fun, but I think Link will be waking up very soon. So I will just potter along at my own pace. It takes me probably 2 days to finish a layout now, in what used to take me an hour, just because it's hard to have that much time when you've got a 4-month-old who needs attention. But yes, so I'm going to back this cut file with the cards. I'm going to cut out some hexagon shapes, and then we will stretch the sketch into a double page layout, and you'll be able to see how it all comes together. All right, we will see you back here in the next second. Okay, so here is the sketch that I am using for this challenge. So you can see that it features hexagons, a big photo, and a long title. So I'm, I guess, quite liberal in my interpretation of this sketch, and it probably doesn't look anything like it, but certainly the hexagons, you know, taking inspiration from the hexagons. So you can see I've backed my cut file there on the left hand side, and as I said, this is using all of the cards that I received for Link's birth, and I'm just trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. Initially I thought that maybe I would use this cut file across sort of both of the pages and cut it. Spoiler alert, I don't do that. I do just put it on the left hand side and then use the smaller hexagons on the right hand side. So sorry if you were waiting with anticipation or thought that that would look good. I think it would have looked perfectly fine to have done that and sort of put it across both pages, but I couldn't work out how to cut it, and it was all too hard for my brain at that point. So we went with it just on one page. And I am very pleased with how this turned out, to be honest. I think it was a really good way to feature the cards that we got given. I'm really happy with how it turned out. So you can see here, I've made the decision. I am going to put it on the left-hand side. And then I started to sort of lay out some of my smaller punched out hexagons and started to stick those down. I don't make you watch all of this, but there you go. You can see I edited it out, and it's quite a few hours. It might even be the next day that I've picked up the filming. But you can see I have now stuck down those hexagons on the right hand side, and the cut file is stuck down, and they're just, both of those things are stuck down flat onto the page. And now I'm sort of looking at how I want my photos to be arranged. I chose one of the introduction pictures that I made for the thank yous. I didn't want to put all 4 of them on the page because they're essentially the same. And then I chose 3 other photos from his newborn photo shoot. And now I am backing those onto the gift wrap paper that his gifts came wrapped in. I kept not all of the paper we had, but I kept a lot of the paper that we got given. And I thought, this just came to me. I thought, well, I'm going to back the photos in this wrapping paper because why not? Then I truly am using basically everything on this page was gifted to Link on his birth, and I just thought that was cute. I don't know if that's corny, but using wrapping paper I think is a good way to use stash, and I mean it's sentimental, and that's the point of this layout really. This bear paper is super cute. Nearly make a boo-boo and stick it onto the wrong side. You see me in a minute. Oh, so silly, but I do remember in time. So I don't know, it's really wanting to think of a way that I could use the cards in particular that Link was given, or that we were given for Link's birth, and I don't really want to keep them. I don't know if that sounds bad to people who keep those kinds of things, but we just got so many, and what do you do with them? I mean, they sit in a box and maybe we look at them once or twice. I don't know. My mother gave me a folder the other day that has a photo and birthday cards basically from my birth right up until maybe my 18th birthday that I'm still not sure what I'm going to do with. But she decided she didn't want them at home anymore and has given them to me. And I want to scrap something with them, I'll be honest. But it's a very big folder and I'm just not sure what to do with it. So I need to think about that. So anyway, I didn't want Link to have to make that decision about what to do with his birth cards. So I made it for him and I've created a layout. I hope you guys like it, and I hope it gives you inspiration on how to use cards that you've been given, or wrapping paper that might be special, that means something that you want to sort of keep and feature without having to, I guess, keep it all or keep all of the cards. So I know that the cards obviously don't show any of the things that were written on the inside or who they're to or from, but I'll be honest with you, not many of our cards had anything particularly sentimental written on the inside. They were just, welcome to the world, Lincoln. So I didn't feel particularly bad about getting rid of the written parts of the cards. Sorry, I've got a nice hot cup of tea that I'm trying to drink, because when you have a 4-month-old, you take all the time that you can to have hot cups of tea, but it's also the only time I have to do voiceovers. So we're mixing those two things together. So you can see me here, I'm just trimming down the matting on the back, and then I actually mat all of them, or back all of them, with some tissue paper as well, which was also wrapped one of the gifts that we got for Link. So I'm using, it's a really beautiful tissue paper actually. It's got like silver sparkle in it, which probably doesn't pick up in the camera. I know it makes my lighting go funny. But yeah, it's really lovely tissue paper. So I was always going to keep that. Now I know that this is not acid free. I understand that the cards and the wrapping paper and the tissue paper is not acid free and it won't last forever. I understand that, but I'm okay with it. that's all I really have to say about that. I'm okay with it not being acid free. I think, I don't know how many people will look back on these layouts. So yeah, they're really just made for me, aren't they? Right, back to what I'm doing. So I've got a whole heap of the hexagons left, the small ones that I punched out from the cards, heaps of them left. So I do want to, I guess, use them as embellishments across particularly the left-hand page with the large hexagon cut file. I want to bring some of the smaller hexagons across so it matches with the right-hand side page. And so I start to sort of put those down, but then I think, oh, I should stick my photos down. So I do that. I edited that part out. This was a very long video. And so I edited that. I edited as much out as I could without you losing, I guess, the sense of the layout and where I was heading with it. So I'm just putting dimensionals on the back of the hexagons down there, and then I'm adding those to the page on the left, and I'm just scattering them around. I'm certainly not making embellishment clusters. I'm not going with rules of 3 or anything like that. I am just scattering more of these small hexagons around the page. Really, to be honest, to use up the hexagons because I punched a lot of them, and I wanted to make sure the colours were similar on the left and the right hand side of the page. It's obvious that they go together because they're similar enough, and obviously they'll be beside each other in my album, but I just wanted to make sure that it was quite cohesive. So I am sticking those down and making sure some of the colours and whatnot are brought across. So particularly this orange one that I'm sticking down now, there was orange on the right hand side, but there was none on the left, so I wanted to bring that over. And once I've stuck those down, I realise I've still got quite a few hexagons left, and I want to do the same thing to the right hand side. So I'm just scattering these across the page as well, and I do add quite a few, and they don't stay in a particular pattern, I suppose. So they're sort of a little bit what do you call it, sort of, they're not matched up with the hexagons that are already stuck down to the page. I'm just sort of sticking them down randomly. I do still line them up when I'm creating the little clusters of the popped up hexagons on the right hand side, but I don't kind of fit them in to the pattern that I'd already created for the background, if that makes sense. So you can see me here just sticking more foam dots on the back and then adding those to the layout. And I do add a lot, as I said. I probably again could have edited some of this out, but I think you miss where I stuck them really, because it does all kind of blend into each other. I'll give you that. And because it's a double page layout, I wanted to get both of the layouts in frame, so I'm a little bit further away than I normally am when I film, and so I'm not as zoomed in, so it might be a little bit harder to see depending what device you are watching this video on. So I should remind you guys that this is part of a hop, and there are 11 other fantastic ladies who have done layouts for this hop. As I mentioned in my intro, the hop is celebrating 12 months of Stretch the Sketch hops, and so everybody has got a different sketch that they're working on this time, sort of recapping the sketches over the last 12 months. This one is the last sketch. So this is sketch number 12, and so everybody will be linked down below, so make sure you head on down and click on the next person in the cycle. I don't, at the time of filming this voiceover, know who that person is, but obviously everything will be listed in the description box, so make sure you go down and check it out and click on the next link, which will be video number 1 in the hop, and go through and watch them all, because they are some hugely talented ladies who participate, and they are bound to have wonderful videos as well for you guys to watch. It's quite a good thing to just put on while you're scrapping and go through all of them. That's what I like to do. I love watching YouTube videos when I scrap, or at least having them on in the background so I can listen and look up. I do get distracted, and it probably makes me take longer than I would like in doing my layouts, but it's a nice way to spend some time in the scrap room. So definitely do that and go through and watch them all. So you can see me here just sticking down the last few hexagons, and then I will trim the overlap. I think I've only got overlap on the right hand side page. I don't think I overlapped any on the left hand side page. The left hand side page, the cut file had a natural border on it, which was about a quarter of an inch in from the edge, and so I kind of kept the layout within that defined boundary, whereas on the right hand side layout I did overlap some of them off the edge because I wanted to and I thought it looked good. So you can see me there. I have finished with the hexagons, and now what you'll see is I pull out a whole heap of things that I actually cut up from the cards. So I kept, I guess, things that I thought that I could use as embellishments. I quite like that on there, which says "Hello, little man." But the circle just didn't work with the hexagons, so I do end up taking it off. I liked some of the word sentiments that were there, but again, they just didn't work. This baby boy is not something I would normally use. It's not a font that I gravitate towards, but it did come off one of the cards we were given, so I did want to put it on a page. I thought about using some of these silver thickers, and I was going to do sort of, I guess, 2 titles, one on each page, but then I realised that because my photo on the left hand side, the top left photo, has text on it already which says "Welcoming with love, Lincoln Archer Van Bergen," I thought I probably don't need a title on that side, and I can just put my title on the right hand side, and I do end up sticking with just baby boy as the title. So I felt like I should just continue with my theme of using the greeting cards that we were given and just go with that title. And now looking at the finished layout in front of me while I'm doing this voiceover, I am happy that I went with that because I do think it looks good. Yeah, I think it works. So I'm just putting foam on the back of that title, and I will stick that down onto the layout. And then I just add one other little element and we are done. I know this was a long video. It was something that actually took me quite some time to do. Backing cut files can be quite time consuming, even really simple cut files like this hexagon one, which really is relatively easy to back. It's still time consuming. And then patching out all the hexagons and then sticking them all down, it certainly did take me a long time, but I am really happy with the result. So then I decided to add, it needed something, and so I did decide to add the silver stars from the stickers that I have here. I can't remember what they're called. They're on my desk somewhere. Too hard to find right now. But I do love them. They're beautiful. They're delightful, those stickers. And they're silver and on white foam, and I add a whole heap of stars. In fact, I think I add all of the stars that were left on the thicker sheet to this layout. And I'm super happy with how it turned out. So once I've done that, I will show you some close-ups, but that's it. That's the layout done. So make sure you hop on to the next video, which is video number 1 in this series, and check out all of the rest of the videos. There will be 12 wonderful videos, or 11 including mine, to go and check out. And I hope you like this series, and thanks so much for watching, guys. We will see you in the next video. All right, everyone. Bye.